Okay, I had to re-record this intro because after thinking about this for a while, I have changed how I'm going about releasing this map. Originally, I was going to release early access exclusively for my YouTube members, but then it occurred to me that there's assets on this map that I do not own, assets that I didn't create, such as some of the rails and some of the buildings and things like that. Some I got off websites like Sketchfab, and others I ripped directly from the session game files. So since I didn't create some of these assets, but they're included in the map, I feel like it felt wrong to put access to the map behind a paywall like my YouTube memberships program. So instead, I've decided to release this early access work in progress version to everybody on my Discord. So you need to be a member of the Discord to get access to this, but it is available for everybody. You can download this now, and I would love to get your feedback and suggestions on how to improve and what you want added to the map in the future. So yeah, this map is available right now on my Discord. Go and download it and let me know what you think. But I wanted to show it off to you guys and talk a little bit about the kind of inspiration for this map. So this is where it all started right here. This is honestly not a bad, if I do say so myself, not a bad recreation of my old local skate park from Belfast, Bridges Skate Park. If you're from Ireland, especially if you're from Belfast, you'll know this park. You've probably been here and you'll recognize it. I'm going to put some photos up so you guys can see the comparison. I'm really happy with how this came out. I really love that I was able to get the coping on all the objects just like it is in real life. Yeah, I think overall I did a pretty good job at recreating the park. There is a whole bowl section up here that I didn't include because I'm still very much an amateur at Blender and amateur at Unreal Engine. So I tried to create a bowl. I couldn't do it. It's very difficult, but maybe down the line I'll be able to do that. We have this little kind of pyramid section. We got a nice quarter pipe here that skates really well. This is really fun just to do lines. This double rail is pretty fun. We got this little gap here over the bin. A little curb hiding back here. Like, I used to skate this mani pad all the time. I'll throw up a couple clips of me skating it if I can find any on like my old Instagram. Yeah, so it's just really cool to be able to actually skate here in session. But yeah, you can see that there is other spots surrounding this map. There is more to this map that I'm going to show off, but it is very much still growing. And hopefully you guys will help it grow with some spot suggestions. Just let me know in the comments if you want to see any specific spots added. But let's get a few tricks here in the skate park section before we move on to the rest of the map. We'll skate each individual part of the map because so far I think that each kind of section brings a pretty unique little vibe, and that's kind of something that I intended when I decided to make it a bit more of kind of like a, I don't know, I guess a kind of open world kind of map, for lack of a better term. It's just really good to get kind of like an outside perspective, and you know, because me playing it and testing it myself isn't enough. You know, I'm still very much, like I said, an amateur at this thing, so I need other people to point out certain problems. I need other people to you know, tell me what's working, what isn't working, and that kind of thing. And it's also just another little extra thing that I can give back to my YouTube members, which is always nice. And also just give back to all you guys in general, because, you know, you're all going to get access to these maps once they're finished. Obviously, it kind of goes without saying that you do need to have session on PC in order to play these maps. And this section, although it's kind of steep, it does skate decently well, and you can get tricks into it like that, which I really like. This is a lot of fun, although it's kind of hard to skate, but once you get a trick on that, it feels great. The ledge is really good. I might do more with this little corner here, but for now it's just a little hip. The Eurogap that Tony Hawk actually skated at one point when he visited the skate park. I wasn't there that day, unfortunately. I'll never live it down that Tony Hawk visited my local skate park one day and I wasn't even there. But yeah, he skated that Eurogap. Let's get up the Eurogap, then hit the hubba. Nice kickflip front crook. Yeah, I think it flows pretty well. That quarter pipe skids really nicely. You can, of course, do a little like ride-on grind up here, which is fun. And then into that. And then we, of course, do have a little electrical. We have this little hidden like electrical box gap here, which, yeah, it's pretty fun. And then I put these two rails together so that you can get some nice double grinds. Very fun. That was pretty nice, I'll take that. This is definitely one of my favorite things to skate here. It's just to kind of gap off that. Kind of acts as like a little wally or like a little kicker. You gotta go pretty fast to hit it, but it does work pretty well. And then you can also skate it like a ledge. Nice nose blunt across the whole thing there. But yeah, so this is the skate park section, and we're going to move on. I'll show off this back section first. So this is the most recent addition, and I'm pretty happy with this. I really like the texture of the cracked paint that I use here. Yeah, initially I wasn't really sure what I was doing with this section, but I turned it into kind of like a little DIY part. You'll notice there's quite a few DIY elements around this whole map. I really like the kind of scenery here. I think it looks nice. We got a curb up here on this steep kind of bank. That's pretty fun to skate. This actually skates really well. And then a cool little bench setup. And this thing here, which you guys can let me know how this skates if you test the map, because I'm not sure how I feel about this, but we'll skate it anyway. And you guys can let me know what you think. We'll start off on this little kicker to the baby rail because it's pretty fun. Little kickflip 5-0. You can also get a nice gap into this. Oh, I'll take it. It was kind of sketchy. Maybe like a big spin. That was really clean. I like that one. Yeah, that one felt really nice. You can also wally off these, which is fun. This is just one of the objects that I threw together when I just don't really know what to put in this space. And yeah, I just came up with this, but it is actually pretty fun. Skates very smoothly, as you can see. Yeah, we have this bench bank thing, which looks like it would be really sketchy, but it actually skates very smoothly. Which then takes us to this. One of my kind of main goals for this map is just to fill the entire place with spots, so every like inch has something worth skating. Not actually sure if you can air over this. Oh, you kind of can wall ride. I like this curve because if you get into like a 50-50, you can just like roll down the edge. Okay, yeah, let's try and skate this kind of abomination here that I'm really not sure if I'm going to keep or not. It's a little glitchy because it's just like a kind of weird shape, but you can actually get around it, as you can see. It's definitely better for slides. Oh yeah, that was pretty nice. You guys can let me know if it's worth keeping this thing in the map or not, but I mean, it's kind of fun. Oh, that was pretty cool. I removed the fence from this section because I thought it'd be cool to be able to trick over, but I might need to remove that fence also. Okay, but moving on, we have this section here, and then you can skate them in like this, hit the transition here, little tail slide on that, and then yeah, there's also this rail that I decided to randomly place here. I don't really know why I put it here, but if you guys want to skate this little kinked rail, you can do that. Yeah, I don't really know why I put this here. I might move this, but yeah, if you guys want me to keep that, you can let me know. We have a little street gap here, which is pretty fun. So you can kind of get a run up from here, all the way up to 2 set, and then hit that little street gap. There is an invisible wall there because that's currently the end of the map, but you got plenty of roll away anyway to hit this street gap, which is really fun. This is one of the newest additions as well. I just added these little stairs and these tiny little ledges here. You can get like a little gap to ledge, which is, yeah, it's fun. But yeah, nothing too exciting in this section here, but I think it just adds a nice little extra bit beside the park. And then you come through here and there's a double set, which I like to hit both stairs like that in quick succession. And we have this little subway section, which kind of separates the 2 main sections of the map. We have a few advertisements as well. We got a little slush advertisement. We got a couple other things, some broken textures, a little sign leading to Bridges Skate Park, open 24/7, because it is usually open 24/7 in real life. Thinking of adding a little like double kinked rail here. Let me know what you think of that. And now these things make a very satisfying noise when you grind them. I love that. Succession doesn't actually have a grinding sound for tiles, but it does have a grinding sound for bricks, so I just applied the brick sound to these ledges and stuff, and I think it sounds really good. I love the textures in here, you know, that they're, like, I made sure that they were dirty, but they also are shiny still, so, you know, like, the walls are a bit cleaner, they're a bit more shiny, the grind is filthy, and then we have these little benches, which are, like, built into the bank, so you can, like, pop into the bank. That's really nice. But nice big handrail here. The collision for this handrail is currently a little bit broken. I've been really struggling to get the collision correct on this thing. You see, you kind of fizz through the handrail a little bit at the end. So this is something that I am trying to fix, but yeah, it's a little bit broken, but it still works. It's fine. It's a pretty fun handrail. There's also this kind of gap there, and that brings us out to this little kind of New York inspired section. Yeah, I wanted to have like a little kind of neighborhood area. It's very much inspired by kind of New York, Brooklyn Banks with all the bricks and stuff, and yeah, I think this is pretty cool. So we got this little stair set right here. You don't have a lot of run up, but it is a very small handrail, so it is still very skiddable, as you can see. It's also followed by this little gap here, so you can get a couple lines. One of my favorite things to do here is actually gap into this. There's just like a lot to play around with, and that's kind of the main thing, you know, that I wanted to do, is I wanted to give you a lot of stuff that you can just mess around with, and just some things are going to work, some things aren't. This is really cool. So you come up here, you can just ride up this, and basically the way that this is set up, so it's like a broken bench, makes like the perfect Wally spot. I can do one even better than that. Hold on. So if you kind of delay your ollie a little bit, it's just like a perfect little Wally, and I just really love that. It just works very naturally. We've got a little gap here, so you just climb up here, you know, you set your marker, you have got a little rail there, which is cool. Nice kickflip feeble. This thing's kind of fun, little DIY kind of gap to the street. Didn't even really make it there, but there we go, a little gap to the street. This thing is really cool as well for kind of Wallies. You can just pop over it. It's a little bit buggy, makes your character do some weird stuff, but it's still fun. One of my favorite kind of line spots is here, because you can pop over onto that bench and hit that, and then you can come around and you can gap this. This thing's really cool. It's a bit tricky to skate. There we go, like a little crook over it. That's one of my favorite line spots right there. So like off the broken bench, hit that ledge, land on that bench, and then pop over into that. So I'm really excited to see what people can do on this spot. I think that it opens the doors to a lot of very, very cool tricks. And of course you can get some ride-on grinds, some slappies, things like that. We have this like mani pad ledge to the street here, which is pretty good for lines. If you keep this going, and then, you know, you could... let's actually try and get a line. So we'll mani this, kickflip into that. Big spin, switch tray maybe? Nice. And then you get like a little kicker to kind of mani tricks over this to the street, which is cool. But the coolest thing about this map, which I wasn't able to achieve with my last couple maps, but thanks to the Illusory Discord, I was able to get a project that actually has a working day and night cycle. So this map does have day and night, so we can change this to nighttime. Let's go 11 PM. Now, the lighting is still very much a work in progress. I still need to kind of make certain things brighter, add certain lights to certain sections. Like this is a little bit too dark, but I love the lighting here. Like these little light posts, I absolutely love them. I think they look so cool. Oh yeah, I forgot that I was doing this, but I wanted to kind of illuminate the signs a little bit, so I have like the textures kind of light up. As you can see, you know, it's not perfect. Still need to work on that a little bit, but I think they look pretty cool. I think the lighting around the skate park looks pretty nice. I wanted to go for a bit of a yellow, kind of softer tone instead of like something really bright and white. So you can definitely get some cool night clips at the minute as it stands. Something about the lighting at 10 AM just looks really good, especially this section. I think it just makes this section just look really good. But this is pretty much it so far, but I do plan on extending this map a lot further. And that is part of the reason why I'm releasing it early, because I want you guys to not only test it and drop feedback on what's broken, what it doesn't skate right, what isn't working, but also I want suggestions from both people who are playing it and from you guys who are just watching this video. You know, what can I add to make this even cooler? What spots from real life can I try to recreate? You know, what sections would be cool to add that are like different from this section, for example? Okay, so now it's time for you to go and play this map. Just hit that Discord link in the description, head to the My Session map channel, and you can download the map right there. And please do drop your feedback in the feedback channel as well. Let me know what you think, let me know what you want to add, all that good stuff. And most importantly, get some clips on this map, post them wherever you want, share them to the Discord, put them on Instagram. I'd really love to see them. Tag me in any clips that you get on this map, and I will continue to release updated versions as I keep working on the map. And I'm also going to throw up 2 of my older maps that are still being worked on, and any future maps as well, all available for you on the Discord. So thank you very much for watching, guys. Go download it, have fun, and I will catch you in the next video. Peace.